Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Play King's Bounty 2! Turn-based strategy game. Well, it's not really turn-based because for those of you who know the King's Bounty series, when you are around on the world map, you are traveling, well, in type of real times. But this game is a lot of different from the normal King's Bounty. So when you have seen my old recordings of King Bounty, Armor Princess, The Legend, all of the old King's Bounty, this here works a lot different. There's still some similarities. For example, the army size is determined by your leadership, but magic system, skill system works different, and well, you'll see, especially the mana system. Let's jump right into it. So we have to choose between three characters. That is very normal for King's Bounty. It's the fighter, the knight, the mage, and the paladin. The fighter or knight gives the troops the biggest bonuses in combat, so you have less troops but they're stronger. The mage can cast spells in combat, which is normally very, very effective in King's Bounty because you can summon units to the battlefield, you can boost your troops, double your troops, make your troops more or less impervious to damage, increase the damage, reflect damage to the enemy, even take enemy forces out of the fight entirely for some time. So there's a lot of things possible with mages. But please keep in mind that all the characters can become casters. So even though it says here that he's unable to cast spells, he is very capable of casting spells if you give him time. This is a very interesting ability. He gets 10% more experience. The Paladin does not have this skill to start with, but she gets it. She can get it later if she invests points into it. She's more into having a lot of troops and supporting her troops with light and life spells. With that being said, I start with the Paladin, although she looks a little bit more like some kind of druid with this feather in her hair. But, well, I will skip all the dialogues. They're beautiful and they're all spoken. Even when you walk by the dungeon cells, for example, the people are talking, and they're talking about this land. Very, very interesting. So come on, you can do it. So I will skip the starting dialogues, even though they're pretty interesting and pretty funny, because you're an imprisoned noble in some kind of border castle that is basically a only prison for political prisoners.
Get up! Come on, hurry! The warden is calling.
And I think it's done pretty well.
Are you really going to save Nostria, as they say?
Of course. But why do you ask?
You can discuss it with Warden Valber. Come out of that cell. I'll escort you.
What happened? Bastian, should I be worried?
Let's go. You know the
Interesting that we can call the guard by his name. So the prisoners here seem to have a very good relationship to their guards. Look at the weapon, they look pretty awesome. We can move around, like in most games of this time, just with the WASD keys. We can read the... whenever you press E, you can read stuff. Sunrise, wake, personal hygiene, morning, breakfast, okay, lunch, singing in the Austrian anthem. And when you see the evening, they're singing the cruise prison anthem. That is where we are actually at the moment. When you stand by the cells, you can hear them talking. And you learn about the land itself, which is also very interesting. So I really like that. So that's here a tyrant died in his cell. Love to detail. I think that is what makes most games good. Most games that are good is the love to detail. Yeah, they get a handful of raisins on holidays or weekends.
Your belongings take over the prison.
So here we get our stuff, our first items. The items that you carry actually do not support you because you're not fighting, they support your troops. So keep an eye on the items that you want to equip. How they benefit your troops is there something with them that you want your troops to be benefiting from. If you're more an archer type or more, depending on the item really. There's items for every kind of troop, basically. The sign just tells us about the dragon and that if the dragon comes, we should protect our heads and lay flat on the ground. And this guy cannot believe that we're set free and that he has to give us a part of his troops to accompany us. Because normally, nobody gets out of this. And this is just a book with a joke. You're finding a lot of books in this game. And I recommend you to read them because they're actually quite interesting. You learn a lot about the world you're in. That is a dwarf. A little disclaimer here for those who know the old King's Bounty. There are no longer the troops that you know of. So, you know, humans, orcs, lizardmen, demon, goblins, elves, pirates, neutrals. That does no longer exist. It's now all divided into 4 troops. Chaos, Order, Light, and Dark. You still have the moral problem. So, for example, when you played the old games, the undead didn't... Well, the humans didn't get along with the undead. The undead didn't care for anyone when it comes to moral. And so you have to keep an eye on your moral here when you're mixing troops. So he's giving us troops and he offers us to buy troops for good coin. These guys here, these dogs of war, and we'll buy them because we like dogs of war. Yes, we do. You can see they have a little bit less hit points than the spearmen, and they have different skills. They have higher critical hit chance. They have a control zone that the others have as well. They deal more damage in their first attack, and they have the ability to make the enemy bleed. These guys can deal critical hits automatically. But besides that, they have very little skills. But that's okay with us. So, we need a horsey. Because we were promised a horsey. Some of the houses, if I remember that right, can be entered. And again, you can talk to all the people. Well, you cannot talk to them, but you can listen in on their talks. Look at that. This tells an entire story, and this is only the first book of many that tells you the story of a guy that was robbed by bandits, then the bandits were killed by a dragon, then he took their gold, then he was ripped off himself again, and so forth and so on. Very, very funny. So this tells us that this was all planned by dwarves, and there is another plate in here that tells you that this fortress was mainly built to scare and impress people. Not so much as a means of weapons and war and defense stuff. But it is as it is. And whenever there's something important that you can loot, it will shine golden. So keep an eye out for that golden glow. So this guy here who has more my statue is not talking to us. I wonder why. Oh, we have to buy the crossbow in order... I didn't want to buy the crossbow because that's a crap weapon and we're not into crap weapons, but what can we do? That's how the cookie crumbles. Yeah, give me that.
Aston didn't shortchange you on equipment. May your body...
Beautifully said.
Beautiful. We're really nice. If you play the mage, she's a lot more cynical. She's not a very nice person. But, the Paladin obviously is. Although we run a little bit strange. So he has a horse for us.
You can go now.
What's wrong, Bath?
I wanted to
Thanks for the warning.
the mage since they as you
And he tells us about some golems. And when you were aware of your surroundings in the
The horse is
dungeon where you were kept and listened to the people, then you would have learned that these golems are really, really dangerous. And they say they can bash your head in with a single strike.
possibly be getting colder. I envy you. And that Marcellan,
So everyone's got his little story. We're not interested in the story, though, at the moment. The story is interesting, but I want to show you the game, so we're hurrying up. I'll give you... later on, we'll look into all the dialogues and hear them through and all, but at the moment, not so much. So this is Fort Crooks, I think. And, yeah, you can travel with this... things like with the fast map in the old game. And so that you know, you cannot get off the road here. It looks like there is some snowy areas, but that is all fake. So you can just follow the road. Later on, there will be places where you can leave the road, more or less, but it will only be a very, very short way to a chest and then back. So it's not that you're really free to roam around. At least not in the beginning. But that's okay. That's okay. So here we go. We'll have our first fight in a second. The fights are special compared to the normal King's Bounty. And that is because, while in the normal, or in the old King's Bounty 1, all the battlefields were randomly generated. Here, every battlefield is fixed. They're all different, but they're fixed. So, we're up against wolves. Interesting, interesting. We do not have any ranged fighters or anything. And we could get more forward, but when we look at their deployment rate or at their attack speed, I think we should stay where we are, because they have to come to us. Okay, I think we concentrate our fire on one of the guys. And we'll first attack with the spearmen, because they can do a critical attack. We cannot cast anything because we could use this spell, but then it's off, and we don't want that. So we're not doing that. We wait. And these will use their special attack and precise strike these. This is one single being, so what we cannot do is reduce his fighting power by reducing the number of enemies in the team. Because that's not how it works. One of our guys fallen, but that's okay, we're fine. We're fine, no reason to worry. Okay, I think it's time to rip this guy to pieces. And as we attack, they will not have a counter-attack against our guy. Well, we can attack 2 times at the same time again, because they're so close. Beautiful. Yes, we're wounded. Yes, our people are weakened, but that's not a problem because we can heal them up. See? Hold and heal all. And we've got 51 gold. Yes, it costs a lot of coin, but that's totally worth it. Because we need our troops to live. So, and don't worry about the coin. At the moment, we have more than enough coin. And this village is full of gold.
Good. I wish I could find its hands.
She talks about the statue. Yes, we'll find all the missing hands and arms. There are 2 of them, logically, because it's a humanoid figure. And when we have all the arms, we can do good. We get an extra chest. Now, you'll find a lot of items. And the strange thing about these items is that most of them are just for sale. So instead of money, you're finding junk that you can make into money. Whatever sense that makes. I think up there are the dwarves. But we'll see in a second. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the dwarves. Yeah, this is still closed because we have not solved the Dwarven quest yet. But we will. No problem. Do not worry. Well, you can get a pretty good sight of the surroundings here. I think they have a little gravity problem. Because that doesn't look like it is normal. Unless it's frozen in time, that is. Good indicator is water. Seems to be okay. Well, water is always a lot of work. We'll keep an eye out. Could we go up there? No, we cannot. No, we cannot. Do not be greedy, Boris. Do not be greedy. Just want to take our stuff. Get as much as we can. Ooh. 50 experience! That might mean we got a level up. Not entirely sure of that. We'll look into that into a second. That is one arm.
That's not all, is it?
That is the other arm.
Found it.
Now we've got the statue. And now we put the hand up. And look at this. For a normal village, they have a very interesting way of storing their valuables, I might add. Yay! A traveling head. We are happy about very strange equipment. But we look gorgeous, I guess. A topaz. So you see our mana, the 29 blue crystal thingies there. That is our mana. That does not regenerate. We get it when we fight or win or collect it. And we lose it when we cast spells. Interestingly, though, yeah, you do not regenerate it like in the old times when you have to wait for days, or, well, not days, but for very long amounts of times, you know, just standing around waiting for your stuff to reappear. Ah, he needs help.
What happened?
These were the miners here, and they were attacked by the human brigands. And you can side with either the humans or the dwarves, and that will give you different troops. So you might get the dwarves, or you might get the humies. But I think they're both more or less. What do we get here? Magic power +1. That is okay. Well, we take what we can get. I mean, who are we to demand anything? So, you, sir. He's selling troops. Now, these guys are not the same. They are chaos and we're order. So they will not work well with our forces. You can see that at the moment they're all happy. And when we buy them, they're not happy. Now everyone is kind of, not so happy. But that's okay. That's okay. We can live with a little disadvantage in morale. We would have problems if we would mix another troop into it. Then the morale will get so bad that we will not benefit from it any longer, and that we will have real problems, so to speak. Still looking around, just, you know, patrolling, looking that we got all the cool stuff, that we're not missing anything before the fight starts, because there will be a fight. And we have to choose, as I said, between the humans.
Is that way. If His Highness wasn't expecting me, I could flee. But alas.
And again, you could just, you know, get to these people and they will start talking after a while and telling you something about their surroundings, whatever, or their life. I mean, mainly that it's cold like hell, because that's what it is, obviously. There is another small way to go. And that's what I mean. I mean, it's not that you can get off the road and get big adventures. There's some adventures, but mainly it's, you know, cannot get in there into the water and swim somewhere. You can just get some extra gold on the way. But that's okay. Lumberjack's house. What does it say, the Lumberjack's house? Because there is no house here, as far as I'm considered. Oh, they mean the main place here is the Lumberjack's house. So there is the second part where he loses all his coin that he got in the last story they tell, because he was drunk while looking into a girl. So what do we have? We cannot research that because we don't have the arcane knowledge. We could use that to get more experience, but that's too early. We cannot learn that because we don't have the arcane knowledge. And this can be researched. I like that. I really like that. We'll look into that. Because attack spells are very, very useful. These are our forces. That's okay. We've got 1 talent point. Now, we could increase one of our talents. Or we can get this one here just to get more experience. Or we can get this to get more gold. But gold is not our problem at the moment. Well, we could go for magic to be able to cast more spells. But I say we go for more experience. So with that being said, let's go into the magic book. And no, I don't want to use this. Where is my attack spells? We've got healing. Interesting, interesting. We cannot learn that. Because we don't have the mana. Oh, Christ. But we can learn the Burning Ray. No, we cannot, because we don't have what it takes. But we can learn the Ray of Light. Beautiful. So we at least have an attack spell, which will be very useful. So we can... This guy looks like Gimli, doesn't he? From Lord of the Rings, somehow. Well, that's dwarves for you. So we now have to decide who to attack. And of course...
That Valbear will be swinging from a gibbet soon. I just know it.
Okay. You're about to die. So they've got brigands, deserters, and brigands. Fine with me, sir, because I've got more than you have. Unit deployment. What is your range? So their range isn't that good. So we'll use that to get into attack range. Beautiful! We could actually use healing to reduce the overall costs at the end. But I mean, this is really good damage. Look at this. Look at this. These are the deserters. Deserters. I'll burn your butt off. Nice. And we have a special ability that is, we can go, bite their asses off, and then run back. I hope I clicked the right thing. I did. So, nothing these guys can do. We'll just wait. Yeah, they're going into defensive state here, which makes, of course, sense. They're not all dead. How did they do that? The deserters are still alive. Okay, let's get them. Down they go. Well, if we go here... yeah, that's okay. Down they go. Now, we cannot break through here, because if we do that, we'll, if we go through here, they will get a counterattack because of their zone of control. Most units have the ability to control a zone. Let's burn these guys. I know I'm wasting mana, but that's how I work. Let's get them dead. Beautiful. And flawless victory, am I dead? Nice work, sir. Nice work. Everyone's very, very happy. We killed everyone. Our units are getting experience, so you see at the moment they have 1 bar. And if we give them time, they will get more bars and get better.
The forest weeps not when grass is tread.
This guy is a poet, and that's really, really, oh boy. If you play the mage will tell you that all poets' things end with either, what was it, snow, blue sky, a white sky, or no, it was snow, white clouds, or the sky, something like that. And she finds that really annoying. I think the Paladin says something more nicer if you let her. Well, now, as we have helped, let's have a quick look. Did we get enough experience for a level up? That would be beautiful. No, we didn't. But we can reset the tree. But now we can buy these guys. The dwarves, look at them. Damage from arrows is reduced. And they're doing critical. And yeah, and they have 92 hit points. Isn't that beautiful? And we can have 2 of them. Yes, they're expensive. But fine by me. And as we have now solved that problem, we can move up to the place that was locked last time. The door will open and it will get us to the dwarves, and they will be grateful that we helped their friends. Yay, yay. Theoretically speaking, I think you can do the other way around and have another fight, which would gain more experience for us. Good point, good point, good point. Because as always, we're fighting mainly for experience. And only secondly for morale and all that stuff. Oh, look at that! A squirrel! Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, a lot of animals running around. I mean, wolves. I mean, not the ones to fight, but just the ones to look at. Like wolves and all that. Very, very nice. We have a lack of ranged fighters, you might think, but that will be corrected pretty soon. So he will just give us some coin. And experience. And soldier boots. Which is welcome, because we like soldier boots. And there is another book. The story continues. Yeah, it's a very, very nice story to follow. And look at the view. Just look at it. Amazingly beautiful. However, nothing for us to gain as far as I can tell. Would have been glad for some extra coin. Did we get a level up? I really, really want to level up. We got new boots. This is health +1. And this is critical hit +1. I think I'll take the these boots. The rest is just junk to be sold, by the way. Still not enough. There's no way through here. Oh, they locked it tight. They know what type of character we are, do they? But that's how it is. We're greedy snitches. So remember, this is the Paladin, so our army is bigger than those of the... If you play a mage, for example, you will only be able to take 1 Dwarven militia. And not like we did, 2 of them. The fighter will have a smaller army, but he will be able to support them a lot better. So they're getting extra bonuses to attack and all that shenanigan. But we'll be alright. I think that is another traveling... stone? Yes, it is. Now look at these guys. Just look at them. You can...
There's Witchstone, and there are the golems. Where's Rossum?
Yeah, they're set to combat mode. Why? They're set to clear the road, and they're set to combat mode. Like, what? How can they be set to combat mode if they are ordered to clear the road unless you fight the road or something? That makes no sense at all. That's how it is. There are 2 ways to get around this. One, you could simply beat the living hell out of them, which is complicated. Or... you can free this mage guy here by looking on the runes on the ground and then simply break him free. Both work. Question is, what do you prefer? More like the orderly approach or the I knock your head in approach? You see that? That is quite an obvious riddle, if you ask me. It's not really a riddle. So we're running around, getting as much as we can. There is another book. And a chest. Oh, we greedy snitches. And there is a healing scroll. But first, we want all the treasure. 1 gold. More gold. Even more gold. Even more gold. Yeah, we're good in gold. Nothing bad here. Sadly, you're not getting any experience. But that's how it is. That's how it is. So, we've seen a fight. We've seen our equipment. We see how we can do this by magic or by chaos. So, what do you think? How should we get through? Should we fight the golems or should we free the mage? Well, I'll let you decide and we'll see each other next time. Bye!